Welcome to Unfiltered and Unstoppable with Rob Rumsberg. Real strategies for real advisors, a podcast that dives into what it takes to scale a thriving financial practice. Each week, we'll discuss actionable strategies, tools, and insights to keep you ahead in today's financial landscape. From innovative products and powerful marketing tactics, you'll get unfiltered truth and unstoppable strategies. Let's get started by building your unstoppable financial practice today.
Every referral, every client conversation, every ounce of momentum that you carry into January, it all starts in Q4. Frustrated advisors waste Q4. Strong advisors own it. So, which side are you on? All right. Welcome back to Unfiltered and Unstoppable. This is the podcast where we cut out all of the fluff and we give you real strategies that help real financial advisors grow. Here's the deal. The fourth quarter is here. Clock is ticking. Too many advisors out there. They coast into the holidays. They slow down when they should be leaning in. And then January hits and they're left scrambling. However, not you, right? Not you. Not this year. So, in today's episode, we will be breaking down the end of year strategies that real advisors actually take advantage of. So, not theory, not recycled talking points, but practical moves that you can run with right now. So, we're hoping to drive deeper engagement with your clients, spark referrals without begging for them. And we're looking to start 2026 with some serious momentum. So we're going to be talking about some creative events. We'll be talking about referral touch points, talking about ways to implement year-end reviews that actually deliver. So if you've been waiting for a sign to take your fourth quarter seriously, this is it. Let's go ahead and dive in here. As I record this, today is September 16th. I record my episodes 2 weeks out, simply just in case I suddenly have to travel or life happens or whatever the case may be. So by the time this releases, it will be October. So the fourth quarter will be in full swing. I can't believe it's already here. But here's the truth. Your fourth quarter is not just another 90 days. It's the finish line and the starting line. So first of all, your clients are already in a reflective mindset, right? They're thinking about taxes because tax season is just around the corner. By the time we wrap up the fourth quarter, uh, they should be reviewing their retirement contributions. They should be getting ready to budget if they're not already budgeting for the holiday spending. And so here's the thing: all of these things open the door for deeper conversations. I'd like to give you a story here. I've seen advisors who just coast through the fourth quarter. And so, what I mean by that is no appreciation events, no workshops, no outreach. And guess what? When January hits, pipeline's empty, they're stressed, they're scrambling, and they're sitting there asking, how did this happen? What's not working? That's the first thing is that all of a sudden this isn't working. But then you see your strong advisors, the ones that actually lean into the fourth quarter. So here's the story. What one of my advisors last year, he hosted two very small year-end events. Nothing crazy, nothing expensive. I'll touch on those here in a moment. What they were. And once the new year came around, he had six brand new referrals waiting for him after the new year. Those six brand new referrals brought in over $3 million of assets. And these were at events that he had fun at, his clients had fun at. It was an enjoyable event, not only just for him, but his family as well that attended. He looks forward to these events each and every single year. And from those events, he was able to bring in 6 new referrals. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want us to really be appreciative of, us to grab a hold of, for us to strive towards, to want to do, not have to do, but want to do. Once again, 6 referrals from 2 events, and folks, that's the difference between coasting and leaning in, right? So here's my challenge to all of you that are watching or listening right now. Ask yourself right now, if I do nothing else in the fourth quarter, what will my January look like for me? What will my January look like? And then flip it and say to yourself, if I leaned in just a little, what would that mean for referrals, for revenue, and even more importantly, your momentum going into 2026? I have a terrible example, so bear with me, or analogy. So if you've ever been anywhere where you see real surfers, so folks that all day, every day, that's what they do is surf. What you will see is that those folks hang out and they hang out and they hang out, waiting for those waves to come in. But when those waves come in, they don't leave. They ride those waves. They ride that momentum because that's what they've been waiting for. That's what they've been working for. That's what they've been hoping for. But in this industry, we also have to create our own momentum. We're not fortunate enough where God creates the waves, right? We need to actually have some action. So once that momentum comes in that next year, what happens at that point in time is if you lean into it and you ride that wave of momentum, you will have a record year. Not maybe, not man, I hope so, but I promise. I will guarantee. I have seen it time and time again over my 20 years in the industry that those folks that lean in during the fourth quarter and actually take advantage when most other advisors, the weak ones, aren't doing anything and they are being proactive, the strong ones, how much more momentum they get in 2026 for the year following. And here's the thing, man. I get it. You've had a long year. We've had a crazy 2025, and you may want to enjoy your November and December. But I promise you, put in the effort now, your future self will thank you. And the thing is that the things we're going to talk about today, these are going to be fun things that you'll want to be a part of and participate in. And the momentum from these events, what will be created from that will be unbelievable. I promise. So let's talk about how. So this is really where it gets fun. Because here's the thing. Your clients generally don't remember just another review meeting, right? They're not excited about the review. Most aren't. Maybe the engineers, but most aren't. What they will remember is the advisor who made their holiday season memorable, meaningful, and fun. That's what I want today to be, is fun. I want it to be about you looking forward to these events because your clients will look forward to them. But also, how do we get referrals from it? So here's some ideas. So first of all, I want you to picture this. And some of you may be like, absolutely not. Get me as far away from this as possible. But there are many of you that are going to say, that is awesome. Count me in. So a gingerbread house decorating extravaganza. Once again, some of you are like, man, you are nuts. But I promise you, this is some of the most fun that not only your clients will have, but their kids and their grandkids. You're going to have families at tables. You're going to have frosting everywhere. I get it. The sprinkles everywhere. Drives me nuts. I'm OCD. Like, I get it. However, what you're also going to have is parents and grandparents with their iPhones out, taking pictures, taking those pictures, sharing them. Every single one of those photos, they'll be sharing them somehow, some way, more than likely social media. And guess what? Your firm, your staff, will be tied to those memories. That's what we call brand equity. That's brand equity that you can't buy. That's what you want. That's what we're talking about today. We're not talking about a stuffy client appreciation event at your golf club. No offense to those that do it; those are awesome as well. But what I'm saying is taking this beyond that point, right? So how about this? Rent a trolley. Rent a trolley, hosting a magical Christmas light tour. Make sure that everyone is aware that the seats are limited. You want this to be an exclusive feel. However, you also want to make sure that you are leaving enough seats because you are going to heavily encourage that your current clients bring a friend. Now we're starting to talk about referrals. And this is how they happen naturally, by the way. Okay, here's a twist. Let's host a Christmas Carol karaoke style event. Unexpected, lighthearted. This is definitely the kind of event that people are going to tell about over and over again. Maybe not everyone will participate. You're not forcing participation, but you're going to make the night fun. Maybe mix in a little Christmas trivia, mix in some holiday trivia. Here's another one that I really, really love that I've seen some great success with: a recipe exchange book. So, what you're going to do is, so once again, October, we're asking for this in October. We're not waiting till December to ask for this. We're asking for this in October. We're going to proactively reach out to our current clients and we're going to ask them to send in their favorite holiday recipes. So, if any of you had any parents or grandparents like I did, handing down recipe books was a big thing in my family, or is a big thing. And I have a recipe book from my grandmother that is over 50 years old. Love it. I know exactly where it's at right now. I know exactly where many of my favorite recipes are. So you are going to compile those, or your firm will. You're going to put them in a simple recipe book, and then you're going to gift it back to everyone that shared. But here's the key: make sure you brand it. Make sure you put your firm's logo on the cover. You're going to add the year that everyone participated. Because once again, this isn't just a fun handout. This is something that will be in the lives, in the kitchen of your clients for maybe generations. So every time someone flips through that book, the first thing they're going to see is you, your firm, and maybe even take a group photo, include it in there, and see how much fun everybody had at that event. This is what we're talking about, being a part of their family traditions as well. So much gratitude built into all of that. I've seen it time and time again. Or if we want to um, class it up or adult it up a little bit, try a festive cocktail class. So what we're going to be doing at these classes is bringing in a professional uh, to be able to teach three or four or five or however many, or one even, signature holiday drink. So not only will we have the professional there teaching them, but we're actually going to have all of the tools there for them to be able to make their own drink. You're going to give them the recipe card so they could take them home. But with all of the tools that you provided them to make the drinks, they'll be able to take those home as well. So, for example, the martini shaker. I know Yeti does this. They have martini shakers, and right off the Yeti website, you could brand them with your logo. So, making sure that everything you're providing them to make those drinks, they take them home as well. So your branded martini shaker with the logo and the year and the name of the class, whatever you want to name it. So every time they shake a cocktail moving forward, you're going to be right there in the memory. They're going to be talking about, you remember how much fun we had at that class? Remember we brought Dave and Barb and how much fun they had? Man, that was such a great time. I can't wait until next year, until John has us back. I can't wait to see the event he has planned for us next year. And then something else that I really love this idea. I've been able to participate in a couple of these. It's so much fun. A professional family photo shoot. So, you know, skip the chaos of going to the mall or wherever. You bring in Santa Claus, your own Santa Claus. You hire your photographer. You set up a backdrop. And then, most importantly, you make sure to give out custom frames with the photos with your logo and the year and all of that good stuff. My wife owned a daycare facility for over 16 years. Um, she had over 60 kids and 20 teachers. And every year we look forward to that event, and we still see our local Santa all over the place. And he just talks about how much fun he had with our daycare, and it's something that many families bring up to us to this day. But with that being said, I have seen it being operated in financial firms as well. Beyond that, guess what? When your family photo, when that was taken into your office, guess what they're sending out? They're sending out that family photo that they took at your office, and your firm name is going to go right along with that. And here's the thing, I know advisors out there that they use these types of events as their only source of marketing. And what I mean by that is, I don't mean they wait until the fourth quarter. What I mean is, throughout the year, they are having these much smaller events throughout the year with their clients and inviting a friend for referrals. So at like those sip and paints, things like that. They bring in folks that their local 4-H club to talk about the beef that's being raised in their area. People love that stuff. They really love being a part of local events, taking them to the local theater and taking a look at the local uh, uh, shows that are being presented at that point in time. Make it fun. Whatever your hobby is or whatever you appreciate or your family appreciates, I'm certain your clients will appreciate those types of events as well. And here's the thing, those advisors that do this stuff, their mindset's simple is, why wouldn't I want to spend more time with my clients having more fun and also encourage them to bring their friends? And it works. Referrals, these individuals, this, like I said, this is all that they do. And the referrals are through the roof. So here's the big takeaway from all this stuff. Like I said, every single one of these events doubles as a referral opportunity. So don't just invite your clients. Highly encourage them to bring a neighbor, a friend, a family member, and that's literally how you multiply your reach, but without a single cold call, without another dinner seminar, right? So those events are amazing, and I love them, and they're exciting. So let's add some strategy to really be able to maximize those. So first of all, let's talk about gratitude. So we we've had the event. After the event, maybe Dave and Barb didn't provide me a referral immediately, whatever the case may be. You send out a letter, and I already have this letter created, by the way, so I would definitely love to share it with you. It goes something along the lines of, "Hey, thank you so much for celebrating this season and this year with us. Thank you for trusting us with your financial journey. If you know anyone else, someone else that you believe could benefit from the same sort of guidance that you would like to protect and that you would like to see had the same sort of year that you just had, I'd be honored to connect with them." Simple, heartfelt, effective. That's what we're talking about. Once again, I got that letter. Love to share it with you. Let's talk about some different strategies. Let's talk about the holiday season and providing some simple, heartfelt, um, just different ways to be able to show your appreciation. Doesn't have to be big. So we're talking pies, we're talking wreaths, we're talking ornaments. So think about it. Your wreaths and your ornaments, they're going to put those up each and every single year. The pies, they set it out on the holiday table. Hopefully, we get them from somebody that has some delicious pies. I always, always, always strongly, highly recommend local. Always. I'm a big buy local guy. I just for whatever reason, the restaurants or whatever the case may be that are all over the universe. I just prefer buying local, and so buy local, support your local economy. Love that. So hopefully somebody at the dinner says, "Hey, where did this delicious pie come from?" Hopefully the very first thing they say is, "This comes from my advisor." This is marketing that you can't buy, right? And also on the pie box, this is something I have helped my advisors do. I've literally gone to their office and helped them do this, and they've got hundreds and hundreds of pies. We provide them with the sticker with their logo on it, literally putting the sticker of your logo right on the box. Even that simple little sticker helps to make this all stick, right? Another great idea here. I have loved this. I've seen this time and time again for over years. A lot of our advisors, what we do is we help them brand piggy banks, brand them with their logo and contact information. So when someone when a prospect becomes a client, it's one of the very first things that they receive is this empty piggy bank, and they share with them that, hey, at the end of the year, we want to make sure that you have the time available to join us at our end of the year celebration. But throughout the year, you take this piggy bank and you fill it up throughout the year with your spare change. And you take that spare change and then you bring it into us at the end of the year, that piggy bank. And at our event, we will bring in the charity that my clients, have voted on. So we will provide you with 3 to 5 different charities. We will set out a poll. And then at that point in time, you, my client, will vote on which one you would like to donate to. We bring them in for our end of the year party. We bring in the actual bank. They bring in the change counter, the whole deal. We count up everybody's change. And this will take 2 to 3 hours, by the way. It gets pretty wild how much change gets brought in. So you'll need to start it at the very beginning of the event. At the end, we have our tally, and then we provide the big check after we've tallied everything up, and we give it to the charity that we all voted on. Want to make sure that the charity is there. That's the magic. Make sure that they're invited and that they are there. You hand them the check in person, and I promise you, it brings tears to everyone in the room. Here's the thing. I have seen, or excuse me, rather, I have heard from my advisors to where they have clients that request additional piggy banks throughout the year because they saw what an impact it had on years previous. This is what we're talking about. A way to position you as the firm that not only manages money, right, but more importantly, gives back to your local community because that's what it's about, right? Making sure that we are part of our local communities and protecting them. You pair all of this stuff we're talking about with social media. We're sharing photos, we're posting thank you videos, making sure we're giving out reminders about deadlines. Every touch point that we have throughout all of this will build equity with your clients and visibility within your community. So let's talk about year end reviews. These are these meetings are non-negotiable, right? But we don't want these reviews just to be how did your investments do this year? That's not what it's all about. We want to make sure we're also turning them into referral opportunities. Ideas for that would be for every referral that you receive, you're making a small donation to a charity. You're showing heart, you're encouraging action. Um, and the thing is, along those same lines, you want to make sure that on your blogs you're talking about your end of year reviews. You're posting all of your checklists that you have available to make sure it's at your client's fingertips. Making sure that you have interactive tools within your technology. Generic things, something as simple as, "Are you ready for 2026?" A quiz. Those things can spark conversations, right? And you don't want to forget the client-facing checklist. I've got one that I love. I'd love to share it with you. It covers the essentials. So the end of year checklist for your clients to make sure that they know about their RMDs, to make sure that they are paying attention to their tax withholdings. What charitable contributions did they make this year? Did they forget to make their favorite one? Uh, Bringing up Roth conversions, right? uh, Risk analysis, reviewing their most recent risk analysis that they created or that they completed last year, making sure that their income plan is intact. Is it meeting all of their income goals? Make sure that we don't have an income gap. Did we have any events this year? Um, Meaning life happens, right? Were there any recent deaths? Did anyone get remarried or a brand new marriage? Were there any divorces? These are all things that we're talking about with beneficiary reviews, right? Got to make sure we're doing that on a regular basis. Um, this is all about being proactive and always looking out for what matters, right? And your client that this and their families, and making sure that they understand that you are a part of their legacy, that more importantly that they can count on you throughout those life events. Those are really rough times when we're talking about a death or a divorce, or very wonderful times when there's a brand new marriage. Like these are times that you want to make sure that you're one of the very first people that they think of, right? And throughout these activities, these proactive activities, that's how you become a part of that conversation, not by a simple, "Hey, congratulations on the wedding," not a simple and although thoughtful card or plant. We wanna make sure that we're being much more proactive throughout those life events because that's really why we do this. Here's the reality of all of it. If you don't start now, you're going to miss it. I promise you, and you don't wanna miss it. Events need planning, letters need printing, campaigns need scheduling. Don't wait until Thanksgiving. Decide today. Pick one event, one letter, one piece of content. Put it on your calendar this week. If you need help with ideas, I've got them. I've got everything that you would need. Myself, my team will help you put everything together. We'll help you plan it. Not only that, but let's say you did wait until Thanksgiving. You're like, oh man, I don't have enough time to get anything together for December. Let's take a look at the first quarter of next year. We've got ideas there as well. So let's talk about this being your moment, right? So once again, the fourth quarter is not just about finishing strong. It's also about setting the tone and the momentum for 2026. So you've got the strategies. We've talked about the events. We talked about the letters. We talked about social media. We talked about year-end reviews. So to make this all easier for you and hopefully something that you can just step into, I've got two wonderful resources. And I've mentioned that I'd love to share them with you. The first one is your checklist for you, the advisor, of making sure you've got everything together for getting these events in order. And then the second one, and maybe even more importantly, is um, a checklist for your clients and making sure that everything we talked about in this episode is in one place. Um, to remind them about their RMDs and their tax withholdings and their charitable giving, all of that stuff, specifically their life milestones as well. Grab them both, use them, ask us to help you brand them. You can reach out to us to make sure that we are helping you to finish the year strong at our website, which is a simply evolvewithgradient.com /ace team. evolvewithgradient.com/ace team. And, but before I wrap up here, let me just say this. Thank you. Thank you for serving your clients. Thank you for strengthening your communities. You honestly don't hear this enough, and I like to end every episode with this because I truly mean it. And the thing is if you've listened to several of my episodes, you've probably heard this every time, but this is genuine. Your work matters. You are appreciated, and the thing is don't stop. Keep moving forward. Your communities appreciate you. Your families appreciate you, and that's it for today's episode of Unfiltered and Unstoppable. If you found value with any of this, be sure to share this with another advisor who might need a fourth quarter spark. Like the show, share the show, follow on whatever podcast that you're following on. Until next time, folks, stay unfiltered, stay unstoppable, and let's finish this year stronger than ever. Thank you.